Hello and greetings to everyone. Today we are to continue with 7 VII, which is taxes. We know that in every country it is a duty for the citizens of that country to pay taxes. The taxes paid by the citizens of that country are used by the central government of the country to provide basic needs and services for the citizens. When we talk of basic needs and services, we are simply referring to the security of the citizens, health services for the citizens, education, sanitation, social services, and many others. Let's take this down. The central government of any country has to tax its citizens to pay for basic services they expect from the government. That's how the government raises funds to provide basic needs and services for her citizens, such as security, health, education, social services, sanitation, and many others. Taxes are a way by which the central government raises revenue for the development of country, and it is a duty for the citizens of a country to pay their taxes. Some examples of taxes include we have personal income tax. When we talk of the personal income tax, It is simply an amount of tax which is levied on the salary of individuals who receive a certain amount of money as salary. Next, we have land tax. The land tax is an example of the property tax. It's a tax you pay as an owner of a piece of land. When we talk of the property tax, it is simply the tax you pay on a property you own. For example, a building tax, a land tax, which is an example, and many others. We have exchange tax. This is the tax you pay when you convert your money from one currency to another. We have the import and export tax. We talk about the import and export taxes. These are the taxes paid on goods and services when they are either imported or exported out of a country. There are many other examples of taxes. These are just a few of them. We take note of this. Take note. Tax rates are always expressed as percentages. This is how tax rates are always expressed. Now let's take some examples on how we handle questions involving taxes. Examples. Question 1. A man with an annual salary of 4,800,000 francs CFA has tax-free allowance tax-free allowance of 3,000,000 francs CFA. If the income tax is set at 35%, how much tax does he pay annually? You see, annually, that means yearly. Take solution. First thing, we need to start by writing down what we have been given in the question. We have been told that the man has an annual salary of 4,800,000 francs CFA. The man has a tax-free allowance. The tax-free allowance, that means the amount of money which is not always taxed, it is tax-free, of 3 million francs CFA. Now let's calculate the amount which is taxable on 4,800,000. Amount taxable is simply equal to, for us to get the amount which is taxable, we are going to take the man's annual salary minus the tax-free allowance. This is tax-free, omitted free here, minus the tax-free allowance. This will simply be equal to the annual salary of the man is 4,800,000 francs CFA minus the tax-free allowance of the man is 3 million francs CFA. The amount which is taxable is simply equal to 1,800,000 francs CFA. Now we need to calculate the amount paid as tax annually by the man. Amount paid as tax annually is simply equal to the man's income tax is set at 35%. That means you're going to take 35% of the amount which is taxable. The amount which is taxable is 1,800,000 francs CFA. This will simply be equal to expressing 35% as a fraction gives us 35 out of 100 times the amount which is taxable, 1,800,000 francs CFA, all over 1. Next, we have to carry out the necessary simplification. These two zeros will strike off 2 zeros in 1,800,000. We'll simply be left with 35 times 18,000, which gives us 630,000 francs CFA. This is the amount the man pays annually as tax on an annual salary of 4,800,000 francs CFA. We go now to question 2. Question 2, a woman with an income of 75,000 francs CFA and tax-free allowance of 18,000 francs CFA, paid 18,240 francs CFA as tax. What is the rate of taxation? To calculate the rate of taxation of the woman, that means the percentage of tax. Take a solution. The first thing we have to do is we have to write out what we have been given in the question. We have the woman's income, which is equal to 75,000 francs CFE. Next thing we have the tax-free allowance for the woman, which is equal to 18,000 francs CFA. We have the amount paid as tax by the woman, which is 18,240 francs CFA. Now the next thing we need to calculate the amount taxed, the amount which is taxed out of the personal income of the woman, that is 75,000 francs CFA. The amount taxed is simply equal to, we are going to take the personal income of the woman, which is 75,000 francs CFA. Then we subtract the tax-free allowance of the woman, that means the amount which is never taxed, 18,000 francs CFA. This will simply be equal to 75,000 francs CFA minus 18,000 francs CFA gives us 57,000 francs CFA. This is the amount of the woman which is taxed. Now the next thing we have to calculate the amount paid as tax. Paid as tax by the woman is simply equal to the tax rate, which is we express as a percentage, times the amount taxed. Now in setting the different values, the amount paid as tax by the woman is simply equal to 18,740 francs CFA is equal to the tax rate times the amount taxed, which is 57,000 francs CFA. Now the next thing, if we divide both sides by 57,000 francs CFA, we are going to obtain the tax rate. Divided by 57,000 francs CFA it will simply be equal to the tax rate times 57,000 francs CFA divided by 57,000 francs CFA. 57,000 francs CFA at the right hand side will cancel 57,000 francs CFA. We'll be left with the tax rate equal to, here we can simplify, francs CFA will strike off francs CFA. We'll be left with 1,874 over 5,700. Now, expressing this fraction as a percentage, we are simply going to multiply by 100% over 1. And this will simply be equal to 1,874 divided by 5,700 gives us 0.3288 times 100. It gives us 32.88 to 2 decimal places to be attached to the percentage sign. Therefore, the tax rate of the woman is 32.88%. We underline the answer. Move now to the next thing, which is exercises for application on taxes. Exercises for application. Question 1. Calculate the annual salary of a woman who has tax-free allowance of 12,350 francs CFA and who pays 14,040 francs CFA as tax. Given that her taxation rate is 30%. Question 2. A woman invests $268,800 in a bank which pays 8% per annum interest. Question A. If she has to pay income tax of 35% on her invested income. How much tax does she pay each year? That's the first question. Question B. How much income does she receive after taxation? C. What percentage is this of the amount she has invested? We move now to the third question, question 3. We take question 3. Question 3. The general manager of an oil company receives a monthly salary of 2,800,000 francs CFA. He has tax-free allowance of 280,000 francs CFA. Find the annual tax he pays if the rates are 30% on the first 840,000 francs CFA. Next 40% on the next 224,000 francs CFA. 50% on the next 840,000 francs CFA. And lastly, 60% on the remaining amounts. These are the exercises for application on taxes. If in case you have any worries on taxes, feel free to leave your questions at the comment section. Please, you like the video, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching.